soft sand meeting magical blue waters, ocean waves shimmering in the late afternoon sun. He does not need a second invitation to go for a walk along the seashore. He walks a mile, and then he walks two. The sun is slowly setting in its magnificent splendor, and he stops to absorb the moment. As the sun dips over the horizon, he continues on his way, but he has lost his sense of direction, lost his clarity of vision. He falters, attempts to orient himself in vain, until not too far in the distance, he sees a set of footprints. He analyzes the imprints, sees the depth, the character, and he knows that these are the unique set of footprints belonging to his father. With confidence now, he steps along the trodden path, the tried and tested path that his own dear father had taken. His father is no longer in sight, but his values and ideals are visible to his son in his set of footprints. He can now continue along his path with certainty, safe in the knowledge that he is on the best path possible. Alfred Sutton was such a father. He left his indelible imprint along the shores of our planet. Footprints of integrity and footprints of honesty. Footprints of leadership and footprints of responsibility. But most of all, footprints of Shema Yisrael. Footprints of living life as a Jew. And although he is no longer in sight, his children continue on his path, emulating his virtues and producing the continuation of his footprints as Shema Yisrael Jews. Alfred was born on August 11, 1929, in New York. As a child, his family moved to New Orleans. His mother, in her wisdom, understood that for her family to flourish in Judaism, it required the sense of community that Brooklyn offered. And so, the family made the move for the sake of God and for the sake of His Torah. Alfred, a man of truth, absorbed the values. He took the message of Shema Yisrael with him always. Whichever corner of the earth he found himself, Shema Yisrael remained on his lips. God is one, and His name is one. This was important to him, and this is the legacy he bequeathed to his children. Alfred, he loved the Torah, and he loved his family. The dream of his life was to raise a family and to provide for them. Provide for them he did, but he gave them much more than that. He bestowed upon them their birthright, the inheritance that compares to no other. Footprints of following the Torah, footprints of doing God's will. He taught by example. He was a man of honor, but above all, a man of honesty and a man of truth. Alfred wouldn't settle for mediocre. He went beyond his comfort zone, and he challenged his children to rise beyond and do the same. He was simply unafraid to do things that were different. He had no problem sending his son to Israel before it had become fashionable. When it came to business, Mr. Sutton was quick to help others establish themselves and teach them the ropes. He set people up in the Far East. He helped people with loans and financial arrangements so that they could get started in business. He never felt they were going to be competition. The right thing is to help others, and he lived by the truth. He didn't look for credit. Renowned for his integrity. Even amongst the non-Jews, they trusted him implicitly, and thus he brought honor to God's name. He earned himself the title of president of his Ben Knesset, and he was a true leader. He was a pioneer who took responsibility, and he was dedicated to his community. He always worked to strengthen relationships and would emphasize how every Jewish person was welcome to pray at the synagogue despite their differences. His legacy will forever impact the lives he touched. Richie, your dear father was an athlete. He completed the tricky marathon called life, and he emerged victorious. Now the game is over. It is only the Torah learning of Avraham and the continued good deeds of his descendants that sustain him and bring him to places ever higher in his heavenly abode. Today, the two merge. Today, the entire Shas was completed in his memory. And today, we see how his children continue his legacy. There is no doubt that at these monumental moments, the climax of so much Torah learning, your dear father is experiencing joy of epic proportions. Each morning, afternoon, evening, as our men go to learn, to be absorbed in the sea of Torah, that is a declaration of Shema Yisrael. Your merit in supporting this learning merges the past of footprints of father and sons across the sands of time and brings us ever closer to the redemption. May his memory be blessed.
Shaif shvis olai avakoi Zchoir bris